The issue of rennet itself, people, like, I understand your point of weight on it, but the thing with rennet, is it halal, is it haram? You do find some cheese, and I was surprised actually, halal cheese. I said, subhanAllah, why would you have halal cheese? But then the thing is that, okay, the issue of rennet, is it pure, is it not pure? Can you eat cheese that's from any supplier? When the Prophet ﷺ went beyond the boundaries of, you can say, the Muslim territory at that time, and they had gone to Tabuk. Tabuk had a variety of people, Kitabis and non-Kitabis, people that were even from the Majus background, or from a, you can say, a fire-worshipping background. So when the cheese was brought to Rasulullah ﷺ, and he realized there was a big chance of it being from a fire-worshipping background that made the cheese, he didn't question it, because rennet itself is even if it's taken from a dead animal, the way that's processed over here, many times you cannot say it's haram like that. Many times than not, it's halal. There are some details. But nonetheless, when you do come across the majority of these cheeses that we have in the market, the majority of them are halal because they don't use the expensive rennet. They use a rennet made from chemicals. So like the crab cheese and everything else like that, it's not actual rennet, it's more of a chemical procedure. That's why you put the cheese out in the sun, it starts to oil up. It's not the natural cheese, it's like a different form that's using a lot of chemical in it. So that's not haram. You have to be very careful as to what we say is halal and haram, what is not. This is a huge issue. It's unlawful for one to put to label something as haram when it possibly is not.
So how are we supposed to find out which one is what kind of rennet is used?
Well, the majority of these cheap cheeses in the market, Kraft or else, it's all halal because they use a chemical process. All chemicals are inside it. The actual expensive cheese, you're looking at $75. I don't think you're going to buy that to begin with. The expensive stuff, I mean, that's expensive, and nonetheless, we're not going to be using that stuff. Yes?
So the halal chicken that they're selling, is it like slaughtered properly? Or?
The halal chicken, yes. It'll be, in Muslim factories, they actually cut the necks. Individually, it's cut. But in a non-Muslim factory, with a helicopter blade. No, but you can't do the biha with a helicopter blade. Because the person's pushing a button and it's flying at a certain degree. But in halal Muslim factories, even Jewish factories, the chicken are cut individually, the necks are cut.
So like the Zabiha sausage that they sell at Superstore is haram?
No, if it's mentioned halal, you can go ahead and consume it. There's something called Zamzam brand in Superstore. That's halal, it's not a problem.
Some foods have flavors like chicken flavor.
Yeah.
Are these halal?
Well, that's all chemicals. Majority of it's chemicals. Unless it states that it's a chicken broth taken from chicken, you should avoid it in that case.
So it's generally halal?
Yeah, generally halal, yeah, without doubt, because it's chemicals. But at times, if it's written the chicken broth from chicken or whatever else, be careful because some of them are, for example, the noodles, the Mr. Noodles, whatever the packages, with chicken broth, it'll say that, okay, it's taken from chicken, from this or processed or whatever else. Avoid that because you're not sure. Of course, without doubt, it's more, but it'll be a haram. But you do have instances where it's made from Malaysia, Indonesia. This is without doubt halal. It's written, yeah, it's written there, halal. Okay.
Something like this, like you go to McDonald's to get some French fries, and I'm not sure about the oil itself.
Well, I think, look, the French fries, I used to eat from there, I quit completely from McDonald's.
Yeah.
That's the French fries because the McDonald's is a special case. What they do with it is basically they cook it twice. When it's first made, the potatoes are cut and made into shape. It's dipped into after it's fried, it's dipped into a preservative. That preservative is kind of, I'm not sure whether it's a pig or a beef preservative. It's taken out and it's frozen. That's why if you compare the McDonald's fries to, let's say, A&W, the McDonald's fries much longer lasts, it stays hard for the whole day, whereas the other stuff does not. It just falls apart, subhanAllah. So in that case, I would say avoid that completely.
Okay.
Yeah. Even, it's something that's quite important as well, maybe you might ask about it, but at times you go to a fast food restaurant, you're not sure. There's one frying pan, and they put everything inside it. Let's say pork, they put beef and everything else. Can you eat from that? Or let's say at times the skillet that they use to cook their food. Whether it be in a Chinese restaurant or a Vietnamese restaurant, they have like the big skillets. They put everything on top of that and they scrape it and they cook the next person's meal. So It's from meal to meal. So let's say you ordered a vegetarian meal. The night before you ordered a pork meal. So they cook the pork on that fryer. And you can still see the remnants of the pork, where the oil is still there. At times you can see it yourself, like downtown, when they do it in front of you, you can see everything being done right before you. Even though you're going to be on campus by 16th Avenue, by the village over there, you have in the food court that's down there, you can see everything being done before you. So basically you'll see the surface of the metal where they cook everything on. It might have some oil, some remnants of the pork that was cooked. And they come and dump your vegetables on top of that, they cook it. This over here will be mixed with impurities then, because a pig is impure to us. Likewise, they use alcohol bases to mix many of the ingredients. So you have an alcohol, whether it be Mongolian style or whatever else, it's mixed on that same surface. If it's mixed with something else, it's vegetables, and remnants of the pork or the liquor attached to what you have, you cannot eat that then, because it would carry that impurity. So you have to be very careful when it comes to that. Okay, the system up here.
I was going to clarify the McDonald's thing, because I've done a lot of research into McDonald's French fries, and in that case, if you look on the website, they say natural flavor, and in brackets they'll say vegetable source or beef source. So in the United States, it'll say beef and pig source. And in Canada, as of like January 2010, they completely changed that. And if you actually look on it, it actually says vegetable source now.
Only vegetable?
It's only vegetables.
Okay, that case, alhamdulillah. Because I did my research last year, so I was but alhamdulillah. If that's the case, okay. So, go ahead and try that, inshallah.
I just wanted to dovetail on your comment about using the same pan that the previous meal had been on. Because we're in Vancouver, and I think generally on the West Coast, people are very, very conscious of the fact that there are lots of vegans and vegetarians that don't want their vegetable or fish meal having touched a meat product. So if you inform your waiter or waitress of this, restaurants are very, very compliant upon giving you a fresh pan, saying I need a fresh pan. They've been very good about this. So anyway, but I had
no, that's okay.
it's just good to know that you can just say I'm a strict vegetarian. Don't give me a clean pan, or tell the chef to give me a clean pan, and they will. Gelatin in a medical circumstance. Say you're given prescription medication, it has like a gelatin coating or something on it. Does that trump?
Well, in terms of what do you call it, if you cannot find no other substitute, that's the only thing that with a gelatin capsule, or in that case it becomes a lot longer for you to consume, because you have the rule that dire needs legalize the unlawful. So in this sense, this can be taken as a dire need, because you cannot find that medicine in any other form, so you can consume it that way, as a capsule. Let's see. Okay, go ahead.
Is tobacco-free hookah or shisha halal?
Tobacco-free? What is it?
Hookah.
Shisha. Oh, that's shisha itself. That's without doubt. That's because Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, "La darar wa la dirar." Do not harm yourself or others. Now with shisha, like a cigarette, you're doing both. You're harming yourself and others. With the second-hand smoke or whatever else, you're harming those around you, as well you're harming your own self. So it should be avoided completely. It's haram, without doubt. No matter what flavor it is or whatever else, it's all the same. Yes?
Lobsters and crabs.
Lobsters and crabs, that's halal, without doubt. Of course, there is a khilaf in the Hanafi opinion, in the Hanafi madhab. It states that, well, you cannot eat shelled seafood. But there's no proof to substantiate that, not a single proof. On the contrary, Rasulullah mentioned, when he was asked about the ocean, he said, هُوَ الطَّهُورُ مَاؤُهُ الْحِلُّ مَيْتَتُهُ. And this is in the Ahl Al-Kitaab. He said, when he was asked about the ocean, he said, its water is pure for you to use, to purify yourself with. As well, he said, its dead animals are lawful for you to consume. So if it's dead animals are lawful for you to consume, the fly anything in the ocean is lawful to consume, whether it be with a shell or without a shell. And we have a rule that states, الْأَصْلُ فِي الْأَشْيَاءِ الْحِلُّ وَالْإِبَاحَةِ. The origin in everything is that it's halal for you to consume, and lawful. Unless you bring a proof to prove otherwise, we cannot say anything is haram. So lobsters, prawns, shrimps, everything, it's all halal.